Beat it, AT.
What's up, guys? It's Andrew P here of Beta AT Productions and Publishing. Today we're going to be going over pretty much how to make an industry level sound or industry level beats. We're not really doing a beat tutorial. I'm going to bring that up immediately. We are not making a beat. What we're doing and discussing is about how to get that sound. And when I say sound, I mean how to get the industry level sound. A lot of people will be like, well, what do you mean by that even? Well, pretty much how to make your beats go from garbage to good. Now, obviously, we can't cover this all in one video. However, we can cover a lot of the foundations and fundamentals of it. We have more content coming out of this exact topic as well as other things, but I felt like I could probably cover a short video doing this. How we're really gonna cover on how to get the industry level sound is discussing about layering. Now, for those of you who don't know, layering is I'm pulling up Nexus right now. It's when you put one sound on top of the other and it kind of masks it and creates a new sound. And when you do the mixing and mastering and doing a lot of that stuff, like the actual engineering side of it, after the sounds, then you can really create the sound to be together, and now it has a completely different sound. Now, first off, you're definitely gonna want some high quality sounds. I recommend, there's a lot of VSTs. Just to name a few, we could go do Electrax, Contact, Nexus, Omnisphere. Those are just to name some of them. Now, so for the sake of tutorial's sake, and for the sake that everyone pretty much has this VST, Nexus, that's what I'm talking about. Not everyone, but a lot of people do. I'm going to show you how to stack some sounds on Nexus to create a new sound. And this is how almost all industry level producers are doing it now. Or trap producers, that's what a lot of producers now. Now layering is nothing new, actually. I don't know why I said they just started doing it. They've been doing this, but layering is just figuring out two sounds that would go together and then putting them together to make a new sound, as I said earlier. Key thing is you're going to want to find two sounds that go together. So we got this pad, Blown Wonderland, and the expansion big tone signature 2. You can use a lot, almost any. Actually, let's just go to something that other people would have. Let's go to single layer pads. Let's go to Bell Pad 3. Alright, so we got a little basic melody, and we're gonna name this Bell Pad. Now this is actually the sound from God, what was that song with Future, produced by Metro Boomin, Digital Dash. It's just not the same melody structure, but it's just the same sound. Now if we wanted to get a different sound from this, let's pull up Nexus again. Just added a new one. And how I did that was just right click insert, yeah, and then went to Nexus. Now we're gonna go down. Nope. And this is a good example of, in my opinion, or I can't think of a way to mix this sound with that bell. It doesn't sound that well. It's just the texture is different. This texture is a leady, so it has more of a what I would say distortion kind of. So we're gonna go down to different pad. Alright, now here's a good example. Simple Pad 1. in the single layer pads. So we're gonna name this simple pad. So we're gonna open up the piano roll. Now we're gonna do similar notes. Sometimes you could even do the same notes, but for this we're not. But we're gonna do similar notes. We can see the ghost notes, so we can actually get it pretty similar. Now we get it they're still separated, but they're getting a little bit closer. It's almost like, I don't know. We can, hopefully you guys can kind of understand where we're going about this, and this is how we're gonna make more complex melodies, or melodies that are harder to replicate, which also can sometimes even give off that professional industry level producer vibe. Because sometimes when you listen to a beat, like, oh, how would I even make that sound? And it's like, well, it's really just a whole bunch of things stacked on top. I know March Madness by Future was produced by Tarantino of 808 Mafia. I talked to a couple people about it, and I was like, so how did Tarantino make this beat? And one of his colleagues or friends or whoever you want to call it told me, oh, from what he told me, it was Purity and maybe a couple other VSTs, but he said I think it was mostly Purity, and he said all of them were just ARPs. And now an ARP is we're gonna insert another one. I'm gonna show you an example of an ARP. You see, it just goes back. It's kind of like, it kind of creates a melody by just pressing one note. You see, I'm just holding one note and it does that. So that's what March Madness was. When you stack a whole bunch of different ARPs, it creates something different. And not a lot of people talk about this. It's not really a secret in my opinion, but it's just a production thing. Now this is actually a good idea. So this simple pad would kind of be like a background sound. The bell pad would be like the main melody, and then we would put in maybe one more sound and probably a couple others actually. But now again, this is like a saw. We don't really want, I don't want it, at least. I don't think it will sound good. I mean, you could do the saw or this heavy, more distorted synth style in like a chorus or something, but I don't really want to do that. Oh, sine bells. Now sine is gonna be a little bit smoother than the saw, and it's a bell, so it's gonna go well with the bell pad. Okay, so that's we're gonna see how that's gonna go. Now, how about we actually just copy the same melody over to the sine bell? Now, I don't think it's picking it up. Yeah, and it's weird. It's acting weird. So what we're going to do is Control A, select it all, Control L. On what's that going to do is pretty much elongate it, I guess you would say. I just dropped it down one octave by holding Control and down. Now, since we are using a ARP, it's a little weird if we use these short notes, or at least this sound is acting kind of weird. So what we're gonna do is actually change up the melody a little bit. Now you can kind of see where the sound is going. Now we're gonna put this on our mixer. Now this also isn't a mixing tutorial. That's like it's just a huge big thing, something that I'm not gonna get real big into in this video, but I'm gonna show you kind of a way we can mix these three sounds to kind of sound, yes, better. Now sine bell is the one that we just did. Now this is gonna be a background sound. Now, since normally this is going to be a trap beat, assuming, doesn't need to be, but just based upon the vibe that we have right now, is how we're going to higher up this little area, and cut down this part. And you could do this many different ways. I don't want to sound like this is like the ultimate way. This is just a way how I normally produce the sound, and I get asked this question a lot, so I figured out why not do it. Now we're gonna stereo enhance. We're gonna kind of like make it go a little bit more to the left and right rather than in the center. So if you had headphones in, you could kind of hear everything in the middle, which is just kind of like a mono. But then if we do a stereo separation, it separates the audio to go back here. So, alright. So, now this simple pad, I think it sounds a little harsh. You're actually going to take out that reverb. Whoops, I don't know what the hell that was. I want to make it a little airy with the reverb. Now we're going to toss in a chorus. Lowering it a little bit. Now this isn't probably the best example to show you guys how to do this. Okay, no, we don't want that. We're going to do another stereo enhancer. We're going to do it between those two notches. Now you can kind of see how this is going. We kind of have like this sound that's almost like it's all together. It's almost there. And this probably isn't the best example because we're using three sounds from Nexus, and I'm trying to make this rushed and a little fast, so you guys aren't sitting here and waiting the whole time. The whole point of this is to get everything baked and try to make it all. Now, let's go ahead and add one more sound, and we're going to cut it at that point. Let's do another ARP. Let's see what ARPs we got. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and track it. We're going to bring this bad boy down. Now, since it has the same melody, I want to change up the melody. Well, I also don't want to change the melody. Well, that makes no sense. Well, what we're going to do is actually going to create a new melody through the mixing way. And how I'm going to do that is we're going to use gross beat. Gross beat is really popular with 808 Mafia, Trap, Sunny Digital, DJ Spins, a lot of those guys. It's really popular now. I've heard so many people using gross beat. And it's a lovely plugin. We're going to add a flanger on as well, but we're going to tune it down a lot. Now, gross beat. We're going to do the click reduction on high so it doesn't affect the sound quality. We're going to go to momentary. We're going to go half speed. And we can go even in here and do this little thing on gross beat. And it's kind of just, now this isn't so much of sound now, this is actually differentiating these melodies making the melodies harder to replicate, and at the same time baking it all together. Now watch this. Now you're like, well, I can't hear everything. That's the key. That's the key. You don't want to hear everything. You want to have all these different sounds that hit different frequencies and different ranges that it fills up and it makes it a whole lot fuller. Now, what's the one sound you hear the most of? Arguably this one or this. Alone, this is what it sounds like. If we only had this and I had drums, it sounds really dry and really basic. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm saying it's not really that professional. Now, there is no true definition of professional and what is and what's not, but if you're trying to be a complex and have all these crazy, intricate, different sounds and try to create something that's really hard to replicate, doing one sound isn't the way to do it. Having a whole lot of different sounds, copying different melodies, stacking them, and then baking them all in like a mix and doing different effects is a great way how to do it. And now we could toss on the drums, 808, and then toss on some little things. Now I know I said I wasn't trying to do a beat tutorial, but this will take just 1 second to show you just how crazy this can get. Now I already have some MIDI files saved for these drums, so we're not actually going to need to be worrying about making drums, and I'll show you what I mean by that. File, open, score, drums. Let's do it. We're going to go ahead and track it, file, open, and then file, open, score, and all I'm doing is opening up these things I've saved before. Drag this in. You see what I mean? We already have a beat like that, and it already sounds pretty decent. Sorry, that was my phone. And how long did that really take us? Really, I'm talking to you guys while I'm doing this. It's really not that hard, but it is hard at the same time, and you guys have to have the right sounds. I'm not stacking sound fonts. Hell no. Hell no. Oh my god. No. Sound fonts, I'm not using those. I'm not stacking now there probably are some good free VSTs, but man, once you invest some money in your sounds, it's gonna change like the world. It's like I pay for everything, but like whenever I get these new VSTs or new sounds, it's like, oh my god, where have you been? Or like when my buddies would send over new presets, it's like, whoa, it's just new sounds. Or like, you always want to update your sound library. If you don't update your sound library, it's gonna be harder to get to this point. And so that's why you guys should join beatat.com. Beatat.com is my website, well, my production team and my publishing team's website, and we do give out free content as well as paid content. Now you wonder why. Well, what do you mean by paid content? Well, we're actually putting out more content now where we'll be able to give you guys more sounds, presets, original presets, original sounds, and we also have free drum packs. We have more free drum packs coming. We currently only have one as of January of 2016, but we have much more coming. We even have more high quality premium sound kits. All of these drums you hear, you would be able to purchase as well. So I just want to toss that out there for you guys if you guys were wondering. I could see future on this already. It's really, and took us 20 minutes to make. Not hard at all. We used only Nexus and AT Sound Kit 1. Literally 3 drums, 4 sounds, and we got this. Now, of course, you also do want good melodies, but baking in the sound will really create some new ways. Like, I don't know. A lot of people don't talk about this, and I thought of telling you guys how to get to that point. So if you guys like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment what you think, and yeah, see you guys later.